is Hassan Muhammad Mohaimin, and I'm going to take your IELTS speaking test today. And there is 3 parts in IELTS speaking, and I'm going to give you all instruction that we'll need in IELTS speaking, okay? And it will take approximately 11 to 14 minutes, and the whole session will be recorded. All right? So I'm going to move on the first part. So are you ready?
Okay.
All right. So can I have your full name, please?
It's Tahsin Bushra. You may call me Bushra.
Okay. So may I see your identification?
Yes, here it is.
Thank you. All right. So where are you from?
I'm from Borisha, but basically I live in the main city in Mirpur, Dhaka.
Okay. So what's your favorite type of food?
Well, among a lots of food, my favorite food is like biryani. I love a lot.
So what's your favorite food?
Well, there are many foods I like, and the most lovable food for me is chicken biryani, which is made by my mother.
Okay. So what's the common meal in your country?
Well, personally, I think the common meal in our country is the rice and chicken curry. Usually, people have rice in the village area in their breakfast, and also they took some fish curry whenever they need that.
So do you enjoy cooking?
Well, yeah, I love doing cooking with my sisters. Whenever we got free time, we usually cook many snacks together, as like noodles and some other things.
All right. So how often do you cook at home?
Well, firstly, I don't get enough time to cook for myself. Whenever I got time, yeah, I usually cook very often.
Okay. So what type of cuisine do you prefer?
I personally prefer Bangladeshi cuisine, which I grew up eating them, and I also love my mother's homemade food.
All right. So who usually does the cooking in your family?
In my family, my mother usually does all of the cooking for ourselves. And besides, my sister also sometimes cook a lot for us.
So what's your favorite dish to cook?
Well, there aren't much dishes I cook personally because I don't really know about very much about cooking. And personally, I love cooking noodles, and I also sometimes prepare tea for our.
Okay, so do you prefer eating at home or eating out? Why?
Well, I personally prefer eating at home rather than eating outside because eating at home it's very hygienic and healthier for a person and also for the children as well. And in Bangladesh, there are some hygienic issues that people doesn't really follow them correctly, and it would be much healthier for someone to take home at food.
Okay, all right. This is the end of part 1. Now I'm diving in part 2. So I'm going to give you a cue card, and here is the topic. All right. So now you have like exactly 1 minute to take some note if you want to. All right. So here is your paper and pencil. So your time starts now. So time is over. Now you have to talk exactly 2 minutes on your topic. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So your time starts now.
I would love to describe about a meal I had, and that was mutton biryani, which I had last week in my aunt's house. There was a little family gathering where where everybody was there, and we are kind of celebrating our little family gathering with us, with our near and dear peoples. And secondly, there was many people around us, including my neighbors and some of my friends of cousins. They are also invited in the invitation at my aunt's house. And it was kind of special for me because of the food that was prepared by my aunt. She was really intelligent about making mutton biryani, and I love taking the food made by her, and she always helps everybody to prepare that kind of food. And my mother also takes some notes from her to exactly cook the special aroma based chicken biryani or mutton biryani whenever we are gathering in a house. And also, I love the atmosphere at my aunt's house. Whenever we are there, we usually talk and gossip about many more things. And this event kind of have a special place in my heart.
All right. Okay, so this is the end of your part 2. Now I'm moving on part 3. Okay. So here is the discussion part, and I'm going to ask you some questions regarding the part 2. Okay. So the first question is, what are the benefits of cooking at home?
Well, personally, I think there are many benefits cooking at home, including we can have a hygienic food and more healthy food at home, and the protein measures are really there in the food whenever we are having food.
So how has the way we change our eating habits over the last few decades?
Well, in my opinion, I think there are a lot of changes in last few decades in our eating habit. Besides, the young generations are really overflown by the trend, and they also enjoy colorful foods whenever they see them. They kind of eat them. They don't think about the hygiene or something like that.
So do you think people are more conscious about healthy eating nowadays? Why or why not?
I think in my country, people are nowadays aren't that much conscious about whether they are taking some good foods or some bad things. And for children, parents aren't much conscious about the food their children are taking at schools or whenever they're outside.
So what are some traditional foods in your country?
Well, there are many traditional foods are there in my country. First of all, I would like to say about some different kinds of biryani people usually take. Like there are chicken biryani, mutton biryani, and as well as some sweets are very traditional in our country.
Okay, so how important is it to know how to cook?
In my opinion, I think it's very important for a person, including genders, to cook food by themselves, because whenever we are out, we must have to learn how to cook.
Okay, so how do you think our food industry will change in future?
I think our food industries will change in future a little bit because of the trend. Nowadays, people are more moving to follow the trend besides the hygiene or some kind of that.
So what impact does the fast food have on the people's health?
There are a lot of effects fast food have in people's health, including some of the major diseases like TB or some other cancers, tumors are really occurring for the fast foods, and people may should pay attention to this.
Okay, so do you think cooking should be taught in school? Why or why not?
Yeah, I really think cooking should be taught in schools because children might get some different part of cooking and they might enjoy the cooking at school, and it should be taught in school.
Okay, thank you so much. This is the end of your IELTS speaking test, all right? So thank you everyone else to watching this video. And if you want to give such kind of speaking mock test in here, so come to our venue and take a mock test with me, all right? Best of luck.